What's going on, everyone? LA Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and their head coach, Frank Vogel. As the LA Lakers have been a disappointment this season, they currently sit 15-13, just 2 games over 500. That is good for 6th in the Western Conference, but they're just a half game away from being in 8th. So, I mean, the Lakers have not had a good season. No matter which way you look at it, they've lost to some really poor teams. Ever since the season started, they've lost to the Thunder. They've been blowing leads. They lost they got crushed by the Timberwolves. They got destroyed by the Bulls. They got killed by the Celtics. They've just had some really sloppy games. They lost to the Kings in a 4-overtime game. They nearly lost to the Pistons twice. It's just been a brutal season for the Lakers, who defensively are the second worst team in the NBA. They're averaging 113 points per game. That's what their opponents are averaging on them. And this team just has way too many good players to be playing this way. And, obviously a lot of people are talking about Frank Vogel. And the question, should he be fired? And in my opinion, absolutely, Frank Vogel should be fired. Frank Vogel should have been fired a long time ago. Should have been fired last season. He was absolutely awful last year as a head coach. And I came up with a video on him and Brad Stevens, as well as Mike Budenholzer, why those 3 coaches are the most overhyped, overrated coaches in the league. One of those guys got canned, that's Brad Stevens. The other one, if he didn't win the title, if his superstar didn't carry him to a title, he would have been fired too. There were lots of talks about them firing Mike Budenholzer, and then they went on to win the title because Giannis Antetokounmpo carried them all the way there. And now we have Frank Vogel, who I think should be fired. I mean, if you take a look at the roster that the LA Lakers have, they got LeBron James. In my opinion, he's the GOAT. They have Anthony Davis. A lot of people think he's a top 5 or 10 player in the league. Russell Westbrook, obviously a superstar. They got Carmelo Anthony. They got just guys from top to bottom, that realistically are really good basketball players. Dwight Howard, Taylor Horton Tucker, Malik Monk, Avery Bradley, Kendrick Nunn, DeAndre Jordan. Like, they have, Rajon Rondo's another good one. They have some, really good players that there's absolutely no reason for them, to be playing poorly. It's just a really bad coaching job, in my opinion, on Frank Vogel's part, and I really do not like him as a head coach. I don't think he's making things work out in Los Angeles, and I think he should be fired. He should have been fired a while back. Now, if you're asking me if I think or expect Frank Vogel to get fired, absolutely not. I mean, Jeannie Buss has already came out and said she trusts him, and, it sounds like the Lakers are going to continue to go on with Frank Vogel. I don't think that's the right decision. And because of, them keeping Frank Vogel, I don't think they're going to be a team that contends for a title. Unless LeBron James at, 35, 36 plus years old absolutely puts them on their back and puts, his team on his back and carries them to a title at the age he's at, which would be remarkable. And, if that were to happen, then absolutely LeBron James is the GOAT. No one should ever, test that. No one should ever question that. I mean, the guy, if he wins the title, is going to be 37 this year. So LeBron James, if he were to do that, would absolutely be the GOAT. But, I just wouldn't predict the Lakers to win the title if Frank Vogel is their coach moving into the playoffs. I just don't think he's that guy to be able to do it. He hasn't proven that he's a very good coach in the league. His in-game adjustments are piss poor, and he just has not been good with this LA team. They've been a disappointment. And for the talent they have on this team, there should be no excuses for them to be winning, 60 games in the regular season. And, just unless they have some, miraculous record and stretch to close off the year, that doesn't seem like it's going to be the case, as they're just 2 games over 500. But that's all I got in this video, guys. You guys please leave a comment down below what you think about Frank Vogel. As you can see, I'm not a very big fan of him, and I think he is the Los Angeles Lakers' biggest problem. Let me know what you think about Frank Vogel, and let me know who you think the biggest problem with the LA Lakers is. Maybe you could say LeBron's injury, but even without LeBron, the Lakers are still a team that should be very good with the pieces they have on the roster. That's all I got in this video, guys. You guys, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys. And we'll see you guys all in the next video.